Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Now today, I wanted to talk about something that's been pretty popular in recent years in the watchmaking industry, and that is exotic case materials. Now I don't mean precious metals, but I mean exotic, strange, things like DLC, PVD, or ceramic cases. What's the deal with them? What do they mean? How do they affect the watch? And, what do I think? I've gotten a lot of questions about this lately, and I figured I'd make a little video about it. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today, I'm wearing the Eterna Contiki World Timer on an aftermarket mesh bracelet. This is a GMT made by Eterna, and it's a diver, so it's 200-meter water resistant. I don't wear this that often, but, figured I'd give it a little runabout today. It's my go-to travel watch, at least when I'm changing time zones. Also, if you guys want to participate in my Q&A, you still have a day left. So, go to my Instagram account, which is called Federico Talks Watches, a link in the description below, and you still have one day to submit your question. Just go to the Q&A picture, give it a like, and leave your question there, and I'm going to try and answer as many as possible in my next video. I'm probably going to film that tomorrow. So you guys have got about 24 hours left. And please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel right down here. That also helps quite a bit as well. So let's get into it. Exotic case materials. These tend to be coatings, but not all of them are coatings. Ceramic's its own material, but these tend to be steel coated watches, usually in black, but sometimes in other colors that make a watch look a little bit funkier and a little bit different. A lot of companies have been doing this. Cartier does it, Panerai uses a lot of ceramic, Bell & Ross uses a lot of PVD, and it's been very prevalent in the past few years. So I figured I'd explain what each different coating means and essentially, what do I think about them? And, more importantly, I'm going to ask you guys what you think, and you can leave a comment in the comment section below. Let's start with the most common of the three, and that is PVD. PVD stands for physical vapor deposition, and essentially what it is they use vapor to coat the outside of a watch with a plastic, and that gives it this black look. This is the first one of these processes to become common, and it's usually the least expensive one to do. It can be found from any tier of watch, from like a low-end, Orient, to something higher end like a Bell & Ross and even a Breitling. Essentially, it's a plastic-coated watch that gives it a black look. Pretty cool to look at. However, it doesn't last very long. And when I say it doesn't last very long, I mean if you keep the watch in perfect condition, yes, it'll last forever, but it's prone to scratching. And once you scratch it, unlike steel, you cannot polish it out. And very few companies will allow you to re-PVD the watch because you've got to strip all the old coating and redo it, making it pretty costly and, time-consuming. So PVD, while it looks great, I think it's something that, should be considered if you're buying a watch for the long haul. It's not something that will hold up particularly well over time, and once it scratches, it's scratched. That's why I think it's great for like some fashion watches, or even if you want to buy a high-end PVD watch, you want to buy it as your fun watch, not something that will probably be in your collection forever, simply because it's not very durable. Now, another coating is ADLC, which stands for amorphous diamond-like carbon. This process was created by Cartier a few years ago, and essentially, it's a more durable and very smooth coating that's applied at over 200 degrees Celsius. I don't know the exact process of how it's coated, but it's significantly more durable. Diamond-like, of course, means it's much more scratch-resistant and it's fingerprint-resistant. Not to mention, it gives it a much smoother look. This is particularly seen in watches like the Santos 100 Carbon. This is much, much more durable, but once again, if it is scratched, and it can be scratched, this cannot be buffed out, just like PVD. So take a little care. However, it is a much, much tougher material. If going for a high-end luxury watch and you like the look, I'd probably go ADLC over PVD simply for longevity reasons. And then another material that's very much used nowadays is ceramic. Watches like the Chanel J12 are made entirely of ceramic. Omega makes a ceramic Speedmaster, and Panerai makes ceramic radiometers and luminors. This obviously is a very different material. It's not coated steel, it's actually a ceramic. And it's very, very, very scratch resistant. So this holds up very well over time. But its biggest flaw is it's brittle. While steel will scratch, it'll never chip or shatter. Now, I have seen horror stories of people dropping their ceramic watch just right and breaking off a piece of the case. This obviously can't be repaired. You have to replace the case. And in a watch like a Panerai, that's a $2,000 to $3,000 repair. But it does hold up. As I said, it is very scratch resistant. Not to mention, in ceramic, you can get a few different colors. You can get gray, you can get white, you can get red, and of course the most common one is black. Now, do I think this is a fad? Honestly, I do. It's non-traditional watchmaking, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I like the fact that companies are strutting their stuff and showing what can be done with untraditional and exotic case materials. Do I think they're going to stay here for the long haul? Probably not. And I, personally, am not drawn to them. And I probably also wouldn't buy them because I think they're going to go out of style. But that's just my opinion. Some watches do look very, very cool in this coating and in these materials. Personally, though, not my thing. The fact that it's harder to wear, I have to be a little bit more careful most of the time, they can't be polished, it's kind of a no-no for me. But these are the three main exotic materials used nowadays. But of course, other companies like Richard Mille and Hublot are using materials such as sapphire to make watch cases. This is very, very expensive and not quite common, but I might make a video about this in the future. I hope this answered your question regarding these black watches, PVD, ADLC, and ceramic. I know a lot of you guys have been curious. And with the watches becoming much more common nowadays, I, figured I'd answer a few of the questions that are being thrown my way. But what do you guys think? Do you like black watches? Have you thought of the durability? Do you think they're as versatile as normal steel? I don't know. I mean, a lot of people hated titanium back when it came out because it was such a cold-looking material, and now it's a mainstay in the watch industry. So who knows? I could totally be wrong. But let me know your opinion in the comments section below. And as I said, check out my Instagram account so you can participate in the Q&A. There are 24 hours left. And that should be a nice and long video, at least 15 to 20 minutes long, so I've gotten over 100 questions so far. And please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you don't want to miss any more episodes. Thank you so much for sticking around for another episode of Federico Talks Watches, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.